I have officially reached the point where all of my maintenance and self-care needs are happening at the same time. So we're gonna DIY all of this at home. We're gonna get into some hair, nails, waxing, lashes, and skincare. And I'm gonna take you guys along with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy today's video. First thing I'll start with for my maintenance routine is waxing my arms. I definitely am not a pro at doing this. It's only my second time, so I will link the sources that I learned from in the description if you're interested. I'm going to make the DIY sugar wax by using 1.5 cups of sugar, 6 tablespoons of lemon juice, and 6 tablespoons of water. Once I have all these combined in a small pot, I'm going to put it on the stove at a medium heat until it boils, and then eventually it'll turn brown once it cooks long enough. And then once it looks like it's ready, I do a cold water test by dropping a little bit into a bowl of cold water, and if you touch it and it's hard, then it should be ready. From here, I make sure to give it a good amount of time to cool down, usually like 10 to 20 minutes, and then once that's done, it's time to actually wax my arms. I start with applying a talc-free baby powder to clean skin before putting the actual sugar wax on, and then I'm using the GG cloth ablating strips for the removal. I'm real. Like I said, this is literally only my second time waxing, and I can't even lie, I really do hate it, but it is worth the results. So I'm hoping the more I do it, the easier it'll get. I really don't know if that's true, but I'm really hoping it is the case because the pain is just crazy. So cute, buddy. Oh. Altogether, I did 2 separate pulls per arm, and then about halfway through, I did reheat it for 10 seconds in the microwave. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, right? After this. Once I was finished, I used a warm washcloth to gently wipe the area, and then applied some rosehip seed oil to both arms. And with that, we got the hardest part over with. Now it's time to get into these nails. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know I started doing my own gel nails this summer. And about a month or 2 ago, I decided I wanted to try out Gel X, so that's what we're gonna do today. Here is the set I had before. These are probably my favorite I've ever done, and they lasted about 3 weeks. I would have kept them on a little longer if they didn't start to lift. The hair getting caught was actually starting to drive me crazy. So we're gonna remove everything and start fresh. This whole process does take a little long, so I like to put on some movies. Today I'm doing the last 2 Harry Potter movies to listen to while I work. I start by removing any gems and then cutting down the tips as close to my natural nail as I can. Oh my goodness, relax. From here, I like to wear a mask and some glasses just because there'll be a lot of dust in the air when sanding down the gel. And I'm going to be using an e-file to sand off as much of that top layer as I can so that there's less gel to soak off. I am still super new to using an e-file, so I do go really slow so that I don't get cut. I've cut my fingers before, it is not fun, and I'm just going to do this for both sides and take my time. Once I'm finished with both hands, I brush off as much dust as I can before soaking the rest of the gel off with 100% acetone. I really like using these nail clips with the foil and the cotton because I can never get the foil to stay on as tight as it needs to be just by itself. This process might take a few rounds if you don't want to damage your natural nail, so I let it sit the first time for at least 10 minutes, and any nail that needs a little extra soaking, I just apply the cotton ball again and give it a few more minutes before trying to scrape the rest of the gel off. Now to prep my natural nails, I use some cuticle softening gel before pushing them back. I do cut my cuticles, but I go really slow, and I also hold my hands super close to my face so I don't have any clips of that. It's time to prep the tips now though, so after picking out tip sizes for each nail, I file them down a little bit and also etch the inside just so that it sticks to my nail as best as it can. The very first thing I apply to my nails is some nail dehydrator to remove any oils. And then once I have my UV gloves on, I do 1 layer of nail glue on my natural nails, and then I cure it for 60 seconds. For the best nail tip application, I learned that you're supposed to do a thin layer of glue on the etched areas and then add a little bit of a glob on the end before applying it to your nail at an angle. Once I have the tip in the right position, I flash cure each nail for about 20 seconds so that I can continue the rest of my hand before curing the full hand for about 60 to 90 seconds. Off camera, I did my other hand, and then I also shaped and sanded that shiny top layer off with an e-file. For the nail design, I really wanted to try out this brown aura look, and it has little white stars on it, and I found this off of Pinterest. For the base color, I mixed together 2 gel polishes. I don't want to pronounce any of the names wrong, so I'll put it on the screen, but I did 2 layers of this mix, curing both of them for 60 seconds each. And if it looks like I got any gel paint on my skin, I'll take a brush and some acetone and clean up the sides before curing each layer. For the brown aura part, I used an old e.l.f. contour palette because I don't really have a lot of eyeshadow colors. So I applied it in a circular motion with an eyeshadow brush to each nail, and then I put a layer of top coat on before curing for 60 seconds. I have a hard time with these little star designs, so I did those off of camera. I can't even lie, I really did like that inspo pic, but on me, I don't know if it was the tone of brown or what, I did not like how these turned out. I tried to put the little rhinestones on top to see if it would help, and I let it sit for a few days, but a few days later I did end up redoing them. I went for something a little bit more simple just because I didn't want to take 2 L's in the same week. So here is me fixing my nails in this little short. A few weeks ago, I started posting all of my nail content on a separate channel. So if you're interested in keeping up with any of that, I'll link the channel if you want to subscribe. But yeah, for the fix, I just filed off that other color and then did a French tip with these little nail art pearls on top. I figured I'd do something simple before doing my holiday set in a couple of weeks, and you can never go wrong with French tips. Let's go ahead and get into these toes now. They don't look too bad from a distance, but they are a little too long for comfort, and the colors are starting to get a little dull and faded. This is only my second time doing French tips on my toes, and I think I'm locked in with French tip toes. They're the cutest thing ever. Like, I'm only going to be doing this from now on. Anyways though, to start, we're going to go ahead and file off this top layer of gel. This process is essentially the same as my manicure, just without adding the tips on. I really love using gel on my toes because of how long it lasts, and it's also super easy to cure it instead of waiting for them to air dry. The French tips I had before lasted about 3 weeks, so for the time it takes to do this, it's well worth how long they actually last for. Once I'm finished with filing off that top layer, I go in with shaping and also soaking off the gel by alternating feet. I prefer to remove length by filing before soaking them instead of cutting them. So once I have one foot done, I add the foil and cotton before moving to the next one and repeating that process. And then once all that gel is removed and everything is shaped how I like it, I start with the prep process. I apply some cuticle remover to my toes, and I only push my cuticles back. I don't worry about cutting them yet. I really can't get close enough to see what I'm doing. I'm not really comfortable with trying to cut them yet, so I'm perfectly okay with just pushing them back, and then once I did that to every toe, I just wipe off that gel. Once that's done, I just apply some sunscreen to my skin to protect it from that UV light. And from this point, the application process is pretty simple. I apply a layer of polish, wipe the sides, and then I cure by alternating feet, and then just repeat it with every layer. So I do 1 base coat layer, 2 layers of polish, and then 2 layers of the white tips. And then lastly, I finish with 1 layer of top coat. And for all of these layers, I'm curing them for 60 seconds each. I think the good thing about doing French tips with gel is that you can fix your mistakes as many times as you want to. So if you draw a bad line, or if it's too thick or whatever, you can always touch it up with a brush and some acetone, And that's literally a game changer for real, because I don't think I would be able to do it if I didn't have that option. It is a little tedious going back and forth with white paint and wiping it off, and for me it literally takes so many tries, but it is so worth it. So here's a side-by-side comparison of my toes with and without the white tips on top. Once I finished both feet, I went ahead and washed off any dust or sunscreen that was still on my skin before applying this moisturizing foot mask. Once I had them on, I massaged and spread it thoroughly into my skin, and I let them sit on for about 20 minutes before taking them off. Once the 20 minutes were up, I took them off, and then I just let the serums or whatever sit on my skin because the directions say you didn't have to rinse them off. And then after I was done with that, the very last step was some cuticle oil. So I applied that, and then I was all finished. And here is the final look. Hair maintenance for me in the fall is usually a blowout. Now that the weather isn't so hot, it's actually pretty cold out these days, and I'm super excited to be using a new product that I've been wanting for so long. But let's get into this hair prep first. I'm starting out with the Revair Detox Pre-Rinse and applying this throughout my whole scalp. A few hours earlier, I oiled my scalp for hair growth and for moisturization, but I don't want it to be oily before blowing it out, and this pre-shampoo treatment is infused with coconut water, apple cider vinegar, and antioxidants to help with removing any buildup and dirt that I have sitting on my scalp. Once it's applied, I let it sit for a while before rinsing and shampooing. I like to double cleanse my scalp, so for the first wash, I'm splitting my hair into 2 sections, and I'm washing with the cleansing oil shampoo from myrevair on both sides to help fully remove that buildup. For my second wash, I used the Redken Scalp Relief Shampoo. A few months ago, my scalp randomly started becoming more sensitive and itchy, and so I used that anytime I shampoo just to help stop that from happening so often. And since I didn't part my hair this time, I'm using this shampoo brush just to make sure I get it extra clean. Once I'm done shampooing, I rinse all of that out before putting a little bit of conditioner in so that I can detangle. I love using the unbrushed brush to detangle. It's literally magic. I don't know what they do, but it's magic. And once that's all rinsed out, I throw it in this microfiber towel before getting out and starting the rest of the process. I am so excited to be unboxing and trying out the revair hair dryer in today's video. This is truly a game changer for wash days when I plan to blow my hair out. And if you know me, you know I've really been trying to prioritize keeping my curls healthy this year. So now that we got this thing set up, let's go ahead and try it out. I started with sectioning my hair and applying 2 products. First is the Wild Dream Coat for anti-humidity, and for heat protection, I'm using the Canva Blow Dry Spray. Once that was in, I was ready to start drying my hair. The settings on this thing range from 1 to 7 for tension, and it has 2 settings for heat. I decided to test out 2 of the settings on each side of my hair. So to start, I did a level 3 for tension and a level 1 for heat. The recommended time per section is 60 to 90 seconds. So since I went with the lower heat first, I held it for the full 90 seconds before pulling it off. Literally with the first section, I was amazed at how straight this got with such a low heat setting. And this is nothing compared to that second heat setting. So I'm just gonna finish the rest of this side before switching to the next side and going to heat level 2. Moving on to the right side, I believe I did level 4 for the tension, and then like I said, the level 2 for the heat. And with the level 2 heat, I held it on for each section for about 60 seconds. I did a little smell test just to make sure my hair didn't smell like it was being cooked, and there was literally no smell on the hair or in my room. At this point, I realized it's way straighter than I was expecting it to get. With this result, I'm definitely thinking in the future I can get away with doing this as a 1-step blowout, literally just doing my whole head in that level 2 heat and then putting it in some heatless curls afterwards. At this point, I'm about 75% done with drying my hair. Normally I would be flushed, sweating, and there'd be a cloud of smoke in the air behind me, and I love that I did not have to experience that this time around. Once I was fully finished, I did one more smell check for my room and it was clear, and then I went ahead and took everything apart and put it up. If you guys are interested in checking this out, Revair is having one of their biggest sales of the year right now, so if you are, make sure to check the link in my description. Normally when I straighten my hair, I do the comb chase method, but this time around I decided to not do that because I knew I would immediately be putting it into some heatless curls. I kept my heat on 30 for this flat iron, and it took me about 20 to 25 minutes to finish my whole head. I put the curls in and secured my hair overnight, and you'll see me take that out in just a second. So it's been some time now since I put these heatless curls in. I'm gonna go ahead and take them out, see how they look. I'm almost finished, there's not that much left to do. What's left is my lashes, and also I wanna do just like some skincare, eye patches, face mask type deal. Home stretch, the nails, and my toes took the longest, but it's honestly like kind of therapeutic to just sit there and focus on something like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and take these out and see how they look. I'm a little nervous because it's always different every time I do it. One thing I also forgot to do was spray my hair with dry shampoo right after I finished it because it's been just barely a day. But I heard from multiple sources that if you spray your hair with dry shampoo right at the start, it keeps the oil from building up and it makes it last longer, as opposed to trying to spray it over already oily hair. So I'm gonna put this on too once I take these out. They pull up. Yeah, let's try. Uh-oh, it might be too tight. It might be too tight, uh-oh. Oh. Oh my gosh. Man, I wish I had somewhere to go. What the heck? Is this a waste? Alright, before I get distracted, let's just spray this in. I almost got blasted, bro. Now that my hair is officially complete, I'm gonna go ahead and do just a little bit of skincare. I got some eye patches for puffiness that don't really work, but they feel good. I left that on for about 15 minutes, and then I also did a pore clay mask from Innisfree, and I just kept it to the main T-zone area and my chin. Can you see that? It's so hot. Now it's time to get into these lashes. I'm trying out a new one and an old reliable, if you will, okay? I started with applying some lash glue to my lashes, and then I went ahead and applied the new clusters that I was trying out. Unfortunately though, they did not work out for me. They were a little too curved to fit properly on my lashes. So I'm glad I did buy those backup ones. I don't think I like these. Oh no! No. Yeah, I don't like these. So I took those off and reapplied the ones that I usually use. I don't know if I like these either. What the heck? What's going on right now? I need to do my eyebrows first. And here's the finished look for how the lashes turned out. with that, we finally made it to the end of this maintenance routine video. I love these self-care maintenance days so much, and I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to leave it a like, and as always, if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys very soon with another video. Bye guys.